In the village of Akibo, Chief Anozie's provision store, daily needs supermarket, stood as a beacon of success and prosperity. The store was a grand building with colorful designs and shelves, stocked with goods from far and wide. It was not just a store, it was a symbol of achievement and pride for the villagers. From the first light of dawn to the last ray of the setting sun, the store was alive with activities. Villagers and traders from neighboring settlements traveled great distance to patronize Chief Anozie, whose name had become synonymous with quality and reliability. His success was not just a matter of luck, but a result of strategic planning and a keen understanding of market dynamics. His two buses laden with goods from the city were a testament to his far-reaching influence and ambition. As Chief Anozie's business grew, so did his reputation. Parents from Akibo and beyond saw an opportunity in Chief Anozie's success. They sent their children to learn under his tutelage, hoping to imbibe his business wisdom. Chief Anozie welcomed these young apprentices, promising them a bright future if they were diligent and loyal. Chief Anozie had a structured routine for his apprentices. Each morning, they would gather in the storeroom, where he would assign tasks and dispense advice. Remember, business is about trust and relationship, Chief Anozie would often say. Treat your customers like family and they will always come back. Among the apprentices, the stories of the chief's generosity in setting them up after 5 years of service was well known. The settlement was substantial enough to start their own business. However, a sinister pattern began to emerge. One by one, the apprentices who left to start their ventures found themselves plagued by inexplicable misfortunes. Their businesses crumbled and their dreams turned to dust. First, it was Chike, a promising young man whose new store in the neighboring village of Ikenna attracted considerable attention. For a few months, his business thrived, but soon, strange incidents began to occur. Stock would mysteriously spoil overnight, and customers began to avoid his shop, claiming that they felt a strange presence. Chike's dreams slowly withered, and he returned to Akibo, a broke man. Chike's return was met with whispers and sympathetic looks from the villagers. He approached Chief Anozie, his eyes filled with desperation. "Chief, I don't understand what went wrong," Chike said, his voice trembling. "I followed all your advice, but my business failed." Chief Anozie placed a comforting hand on Chike's shoulder, though his eyes remained cold. "Sometimes fate is cruel, Chike. You must persevere." Then there was Uche, whose aspiration of a flourishing trade were dashed by a series of inexplicable financial setbacks. His goods were stolen en route from the city, and his trusted suppliers suddenly refused to do business with him. Uche's business collapsed under the weight of misfortune, and he too returned to Akibo. Another apprentice, Emeka, faced a similar fate. His new store attracted many customers initially, but soon, bizarre accidents plagued his business. One night, his entire stock was destroyed by a mysterious fire. Emeka returned to Akibo, his spirit shattered. "Chief, is there a curse on us?" Emeka asked, his voice tingled with fear. "Nonsense," Chief Anozie replied, his tone dismissed. "You need to be stronger in the face of adversity." Chief Anozie's reputation further increased by his significant contributions to the village church. He funded several church projects, including the construction of a new chapel and the renovation of the old church hall. His donations were generous, and the villagers saw him as a pious and benevolent figure. Chief Anozie is a pillar of our community, Father Nebu, the village priest, often said. At times, he was even seen praying for the success of his former apprentices who had left him to start up their own business. This made people love him so much. His religious attitude and contributions to the church made it difficult for anyone to believe the rumors about his dark practices. To many, the idea that such a respected and charitable man could be involved in occultic rituals was unthinkable. Chief Anozie soon had a boy called Nonso. He was different. From a young age, he had shown a remarkable aptitude for business. Nonso absorbed every lesson, every trick of the trade, but he also observed some unusual things performed by Chief Anozie. Nonso was meticulous in his work and often stayed late into the night, organizing the storeroom and taking inventory. He became friends with Amaka, a spirited young woman who worked as a sales girl in the next shop. Amaka was curious and intelligent, and she shared Nonso's suspicion about Chief Anozie. Nonso, there's something not right about Chief Anozie, Amaka said one evening as they walked through the village. My father has heard stories from the elders. They say he practices dark magic. I've even seen things, Amaka, Nonso replied, his voice tense. I need to find out the truth, because I noticed that whenever my Oga Former's apprentice's business crashes, his own even becomes more successful. Or is it just a figment of my imagination? He questioned. One night, Nonso woke up from sleep. He noticed that Chief was stepping out of his house late at night, carrying a small bundle. Keeping a safe distance, Nonso trailed him to his secluded apartment at the back of the compound. Hidden behind a tree, Nonso watched as Chief Anozie performed a strange ritual, chanting incantations and placing a pair of boxer shorts into a black pot. He entered into another room and Nonso got close to the window to peep, and what he saw sent shivers through his spine. He saw what looked like an apparition of the other apprentices sitting down. He couldn't believe what he just saw. Chief Anozie, oblivious of anyone watching him, smiled and looked at them and said, Nonso, you will be next. Realization dawned on Nonso. Chief Anozie was using these boxer shorts to bind the apprentices' fortune to his own, ensuring their failure. Determined to break the circle, Nonso devised a plan. Armed with this knowledge, Nonso waited patiently for his turn to be settled. He knew that Chief Anozie would steal his boxer shorts 24 hours before the settlement ceremony. When the time came, Nonso discreetly watched as Chief Anozie sneaked into his room. Unknown to him that Nonso had hidden all his boxer shorts, Chief Anozie searched and searched, yet he didn't see his boxers, so he left his room angrily. The day of Nonso's settlement arrived, and the entire village gathered to witness the ceremony. Chief Anozie stood up frowning and said, he is sorry, but he cannot settle Nonso because he doesn't feel he has learnt enough. All the villagers were shocked because this has never happened before. Nonso stood up, his heart pounding. I know exactly what is happening, he said. Chief Anozie was shocked. The villagers listened with rapt attention. Chief Anozie has been binding our fortunes to his own, Nonso declared, his voice steady. He has used dark rituals to ensure we fail, so he remains the only successful businessman. Chief Anozie's face contorted with rage and fear as Nonso confronted him. This is nonsense, he roared. These are lies. Nonso continued. He does not want to settle me because he couldn't get my boxers. Reverend Father Nebu stood and shouted at him, enough with these lies. How can you say that to a man who is committed to God's work and even comes to the parish to pray for all his apprentices? Your claims are outrageous. The villagers did not know what to believe. Chief Anozie said, it was obvious you were sent to bring me down after all I have done for you, he told Nonso. One of the elders stood, looked at Nonso and said, These allegations are huge. Do you have a proof to back it up? Nonso replied, yes, I do. I can lead everyone to the exact room to see for themselves. The elder continued, okay, that is nice, but just before we follow you, lying about a man of Chief Anozie's caliber comes with its consequences. Nonso was sure of what he knew, and he said he was ready. From the crowd, Amaka looked at him with pity. Nonso replied, I know what I am saying, and I will take you all there. The elders of the village took in a deep breath and replied, let's go.